Hello there, with me, Henry Gui, for the 5 p.m. English news on TVS. Let's dive into the news. Prime Minister Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin had called for Kuala Lumpur and Jakarta ties to be further enhanced to a strategic and comprehensive level. He was confident that stronger bilateral relations would enable the two countries to optimize their existing cooperation, especially in economy, trade and investment.
Hasil daripada perbincangan kami yang saya kira cukup bermanfaat pada hari ini, saya berpendapat sudah sampai masanya bagi hubungan kerjasama Malaysia dan Indonesia dipertingkatkan lagi ke peringkat yang strategik. Sehubungan itu kami telah memberi mandat kepada kedua-dua Menteri Luar untuk mengenal pasti bidang-bidang strategik yang boleh diberikan keutamaan.
Muhyiddin, who is on an official visit to Indonesia, said the strengthening of cooperation reflects the determination of the two leaders to work together for the mutual prosperity of the two close neighbours. Muhyiddin added efforts would also be intensified to revitalize trade and investment between the two countries during the COVID-19 pandemic period.
Perbincangan awal telah pun dimulakan di peringkat kerja, dan saya juga berharap kedua-dua pihak akan dapat menggiatkan lagi rundingan bagi memperincikan Standard Operating Procedure SOP untuk pelaksanaan reciprocal Green Lane Scheme tersebut ini.
Right, now, meanwhile, with regards to the anti-palm oil campaign taking place in Europe, Australia and Oceania, Muhyiddin said Indonesia and Malaysia could continue working together in facing the issue of discrimination.
Dan inilah bagi memastikan kita dapat melindungi industri sawit utamanya bagi menyelamatkan berjuta-juta perkebun kecil yang bergantung hidup sepenuhnya pada industri sawit di Malaysia dan juga di Indonesia.
Touching on the issue of Myanmar, Muhyiddin said Kuala Lumpur and Jakarta take seriously the current political situation in that country, which is a step backward for the country's democratic process.
Adalah dikhawatiri pergolakan politik di Myanmar boleh menjejaskan keamanan dan kestabilan di rantau ini. Sehubungan itu, saya sangat bersetuju dengan cadangan supaya kedua-dua Menteri Luar diberikan mandat untuk mencari kesepakatan supaya satu mesyuarat khas ASEAN diadakan bagi membincangkan perkara ini dan lebih mendalam lagi.
Aerial surveillance would be supplied to security officials to effectively control and monitor the public's movement. Such effort was an initiative to curb the spread of the COVID-19 pandemic.
Chief Minister Datuk Patinggi Abang Johari Tun Openg said the asset preparation is to ensure that security teams can communicate more effectively regarding the issue of COVID-19.
Ketiga ialah dari sudut enforcement, pihak kesempatan telah meminta kita membantu dari sudut aset, penambahan aset, dan kerajaan negeri bersetuju untuk memberi aset termasuk drone dan juga kenderaan supaya mereka dapat menghukum lebih cepat mengenai dengan masalah-masalah disebabkan oleh penularan COVID-19.
Meanwhile, the human resources of the police, army, RELA and other relevant agencies would be enhanced for better enforcement of standard operating procedures as part of its mitigation strategy. Abang Johari also expressed hope that the community will have high discipline to break the chain of the COVID-19 infection. Additionally, aid will also be provided through the Welfare Department. At the same time, Abang Johari also expressed his appreciation to the State Disaster Management Committee and the frontliners that are actively fighting the pandemic.
Okay, right. Now, moving on to the flood developments. The number of flood victims in the state has inflated to 1,041 as of 12 p.m. compared to 985 earlier today.
The State Disaster Management Committee, SDMC, in a statement said a total of 338 families were displaced by the floods in the 4 districts of Serian, Samarahan, Simunjan and Tatau. The highest number of victims is located in Serian, with a total of 752 victims from 246 families who are currently seeking shelter at 11 flood evacuation centers. The largest number of flood victims in one shelter is currently at SK Tanah Puteh, with 273 victims from 97 families, followed by Dewan Masyarakat Serian with 134 victims from 48 families. A total of 18 evacuation centers are also currently in operation in 3 affected divisions. In Samarahan and Simunjan, the number of flood victims as of 12 p.m. is currently at 281 from 90 families. In Tatau, Bintulu, the number of victims remained at 8 from 2 families since February 3rd.
Right, we now have our reporter Cheryl Shaminato live on the ground in Kampong Hulu, Serian, to bring us the updates on the flood situation there. Go, Cheryl.
Thank you, Handy, from the studio. Here with me, Cheryl Shaminato, reporting live from Kampong Hulu, Serian. As we can see, this is the 3rd day of the flood situation here. As we can see, one of the locals that we interviewed just now just mentioned that one of the details that we had was measuring waters up to 8 feet or almost 2 meters, and we can see that they have been carrying out their basic necessities with the boats nearby to their homes. Almost half of their homes were submerged, and also the locals here have been taking preventive measures since yesterday to put up their vehicles on the road, to park their vehicles on the door road, and also put their basic necessities outside and saving it from them. So that is all from me on the flood situation here in Kampong Hulu, Serian. And as we still are fighting with the COVID-19 pandemic, I would like to advise all public to still stay vigilant. That's all from me, Cheryl Shaminato, and my videographer, Faitullah Morni, for TVS, Serian.
Break. Hello there and welcome back. Craft beads will always have a place in the hearts of customers who adore the product, especially products such as necklaces, bracelet, earrings, baskets, and so on. Aside from being sold for profit, they're also bought for home decoration.
According to the representative of Rumah Bengau Women's Burial, Zaris Tri Jimbun, during the movement control order, women in the longhouse spend most of their time crafting beads and other decorations. She said profits from the sale of the products will be used to organize the women's burials activities or other programs which could benefit the longhouse community.
Piam gak kami bisik ngagak nama-namanya, kan menyuarnya ngagak situ bot, aba tempat di pasar kapit. Lebuh bisik YB datai ngopanyai kami megak bisik nemrek sidak ya secara percuma lah. Laban asyik kerap tangan mesti kat bantai lah ambil sidak yang nemu kini kepintaran kebolehan wanita baru ngopanyai itu.
In addition, the profits from the sale of products will also be used in overhead costs for the supply of craft beads before selling them to visitors as souvenirs.
Hasil jualan kami akan beli baru, kena beli maniaknya baru lah, kena ngagaknya baru, lalu kena jualnya baru, ngagai bala berketemuan bisik datai lah, agar rumah panjai kami merik roboh tangan, ambil bisik tanah sidak ya, baik sidak ya kulai.
For the head of the burial, Rumah Bengau, Catherine Badak, she feels the responsibility to decorate the longhouse with the craft beads that have been made.
Jadi bakal pasal maniak tu tadi. Mayuah kami nusuk mani bakal teba elkat baru warna tadi. Seda nan itiah kaku ke? Ku mai seda ni ngagak pakainya. Semua hiasan bunga, semua hiasan luar rumah, luar ruainya, luar seda yang itiah ke?
Meanwhile, for handmade craft entrepreneur Nipek Suip, despite the COVID-19 pandemic, there is still demand in the market from customers.
Semua yang ini saya sendiri yang buat dan jual juga saya sendiri. Saya ada buat online, direct dari rumah pun ada juga customer yang datang. Kadang-kadang saya buat COD juga kalau orang minta. Macam itulah.
Nipek also called on women who are interested to dabble into the world of craft beads. Beads, according to her, could be a lucrative source of income, especially in this trying time.
Right, 16 items have been listed under the festive season maximum price control scheme in conjunction with the upcoming Chinese New Year celebration effective from 8 to 16 February.
According to the Domestic Trade and Consumer Affairs Minister Dato' Sri Alexander Nantalinggi, the categories of controlled price items consisted of chicken, chicken eggs, vegetables, seafood and pork. Although this year's Chinese New Year will be celebrated in moderation in accordance with the standard operating procedures set by the government, the demands for goods and prices are expected to increase compared to normal days. Moreover, the pricing of goods for the states was made in accordance with the current market price and the approaching festive seasons. The implementation of the scheme was subject to provisions stipulated under the price control and anti-profiteering mechanism to determine unreasonable high profit for goods regulations 2018.
The Sarawak Marine Police has seized a total of 170 cartons of beer believed to have been smuggled into the state at Jalan Belatok, Taman Maliha around 10:35 a.m. on January 4th.
Sarawak Region 5 Marine Police Commander SCP Shamsul Kasim in a statement said the beer was being transported in a bonded truck when it was stopped and checked. During the check, the driver failed to produce the relevant documents from the Royal Malaysian Customs Department for the beer he was transporting. He added that the truck had been tailed by their personnel after receiving a tip-off. The beer, estimated to be worth 20,060 ringgit, including tax and the bonded truck, were seized and the case will be investigated under the Custom Acts 1967.
And that concludes the 5 p.m. English news on TVS. Don't forget to tune in for the Nightline with Cheryl Shaminato. With that, I'm Handy Gui and have a pleasant day.